help itself flip, which is
Yep,
cool.
yep. It's cost 6 to flip.
So I don't know. I'm comfortable calling this like a B-ish.
Yep, I have it as a B, best green
Yeah.
common.
Yep. Well, I guess it's close to Prey Upon.
Yeah, I got Prey Upon it B minus.
Yeah, me too, actually.
It's just it ramps you and then it becomes an like legit threat late game. That's just such a huge thing to have on one card.
Yeah.
I think the ramp is very relevant,
Ramp
Yeah, and
is-
there's a lot of other mana sinks too.
Hmm.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Like,
Ramp is
just
hard to
a
find.
mana elf that becomes like a fatty late game is just that's just insane to put on
Yep.
one card.
Yep. Next, Ulvenwald Observer. 4 green for a 6/6 with whenever a creature you control with toughness 4 or greater dies, draw a card. So it's if your opponent deals with this, you get to draw a card.
Mhm.
If your opponent deals with your other fatties, you get to draw cards. Everyone gets to draw a card. Well, only you.
Yep.
So yeah, I don't know. This is pretty good as a top end. You only want so many of these bombs in your deck. Like even with the ramp, like even if you have a couple Ulvenwald captives, you probably can't play more than 2 or 3 6+ drops. Like
Yeah, like
period.
two.
Maybe
there's
two.
there's
I think two
another
is, like, kind of
there's
the
a lot
limit.
of mana sinks too and
Yeah,
right.
exactly. So this like in some sets this would be really really good. In this set, I think it's good but not absurd.
It's still definitely very good.
Yes, it's definitely very good, but like the problem with this card is that you have a limited number of slots for cards like these. Does
Right.
it
I
trigger
think-
off of itself? Yes, it will.
Yes. So I think when you compare it with the Mockery of Nature or whatever, where that's pretty much going to be a 6-drop a lot of time, 5 or 6-drop, and that's also a 2-for-1.
Yep.
This is favorable. So since we had that C plus, I feel like this is probably C plus B minus, probably B minus.
I think B minus or B sounds about right for me.
Yeah, I give it a B.
Yeah, I think I'm leaning more towards B than B minus, mainly because as far as big creatures are concerned, there's not going to be a lot that fights with this, and if your opponent does kill it, drawing a card, it's just a really good card. There's not a lot of death touch either in this format, so yeah, it's nice. Let's call this just a B. Strong card, but you don't want to.
Derp Touch deals with this very well, though.
That's
Yeah.
true.
Yes, it does.
The more of these your opponent has, the more derp touch you want. Alright, Waxing Moon. 1 and a green, transform up to 1 target werewolf you control. Creatures you control gain trample until end of turn. Oi.
So ignore the first part of the text. Creatures you control gain trample until end of turn.
Well, no, I don't think you should ignore the first part of the text. Because this, in some cases, will ramp you for 5 or 6 mana.
Which is true.
Right?
Oh, I mean that's the
the
part
appeal of the
you have to-
card.
yeah,
I
that's the
think it's
appeal of the card.
better than the second part. The second
Yeah,
sentence.
yeah, you're never gonna play just give your creatures trample.
God, no. Yeah.
It's just how much mana are you getting from that effect, and like which
Right.
werewolves are you doing? Like that red werewolf that becomes the 5/7 trampler. Like if you use this on it, like you win the game, and if they don't have removal. But I don't know, man. The card sucks.
This is
Yeah.
a build around.
it's
D.
no moon mist.
It
it's
is
just
bad. Yeah.
No.
Moon mist had high upside. This is like you're spending
Well-
a card to like flip a card, and then they bounce it or something.
Yeah.
We haven't talked about bounce much with the green cards. When
Yep, that's true.
Bounce, kill it
You know.
before it resolves anything. Right?
there is sort of limited removal, I think, in this set. I mean, there are things that kill large creatures. I feel like it's somewhat
mean,
limited, so it's
There's
not
a murder, right?
terrible.
Yeah. We have more instant speed removal now than we had before, right? We have the shock. We have the green deal damage card. We have
Aim
whatever.
high.
Clear
Aim-
shot.
Yeah,
Or not aim high. Shit.
clear shot. Yeah,
Clear shot, yeah.
yeah.
I'm gonna
and-
confuse those two forever.
So we
But
have,
like,
we,
if
we have
you
much-
have a large creature out, what can every opponent do? There's the bounce draw card. There's the 6 mana kill drain for 2. There's murder at uncommon.
Yep.
There's
and-
unsubstantiate uncommon bounce.
and shock
I
is a
feel like
common-
that's not a ton.
Well, so DeFruge has an interesting thought. What if you have 2 or 3 of the previous ramp werewolf that we talked about?
mean-
Oldenwald Abomination. Would you play it to permanently get yourself ahead 2 mana?
I mean,
It's not bad if you can consistently pull off that play.
Yeah.
Right.
Like
It's
I
a good
think
pump spell.
if you have, I think the question is how many Oldenwald captives do you have, and how many of the other flips for 7 mana werewolves do you have? Because those werewolves, generally speaking, are very, very powerful once they're flipped. So, like, if you... I don't know. I think this... Like, in a dedicated werewolves deck, this is a very strong reward. And the nice thing is these are going to be whipping around the table. So you're going to be able to pick these up super late if you want them.
Yeah, but you only get 1 pack of like Eldritch, so
you get 2 of Eldritch.
You 2 Eldritch, 1 of Shadows.
2 of Eldritch, man.
Really? When have they done that?
They've been doing that for a couple sets now.
Now that we've switched to only 2 set blocks, we have 2 resets.
Yeah, they started in Dragons.
Oh, the Dragons.
Yeah, they were intending on doing it with Fate Reforged as well, but they realized that when they made Fate Reforged, they fucked up Battle for Zendikar or Cons of Tarkir.
Yeah.
And they were like, yeah, playing with 1 pack of Fate Reforged isn't as good as is better than playing with 2.
So that, I mean, I don't know if that changes much of my card evaluations, but
this card gets
this card gets better for sure.
Yeah, and accumulated knowledge and things like that get better too. Or not, what's a reprint of accumulated knowledge that's like worse?
I mean, I think it's still terrible. But...
It's still probably bad, but yeah.
It does make me a little bit sad that I can't transform my opponent's werewolves just to get the value there. But...
So here's a question, Noah. How many of those stupid accumulated knowledge knockoffs would you have to have in your deck in order to play all of them?
I mean,
Are we talking 4?
You need like a specific deck to want to sit there paying 2, drawing cards like turn after turn and not doing anything. So
well, but this is the sorcery deck, right? Like the
I mean, so that's what I'm saying. Like you having a very specific deck that you're like that you actually want to just sit there doing that. I mean, yeah, you get value after like the 3rd one. You're like, okay, this is good, but like
for
you have
Chad,
to still have to spend 6 mana doing nothing.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I don't really like it.
Yep.
I can see it. Yeah, I can see a deck that wants that. I mean, if you've got the thing in the ice, but you're gonna.
There you go.
Well, what about if you have a bunch of that wielder of lightning or whatever, the 3 mana?
Oh shit! Yeah, the one that pink screechers.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
Yeah. Anyways, so yeah, I don't know. Waxy Moon. Let's just give it. I'm leaning towards a build around C at this point. I think it's actually pretty playable in that werewolves deck now that I think about it a little more. But it's very narrow.
Yeah,
like
even upgrade a little bit.
Even if you have like 6 werewolves, it might not be good enough. I think you have to have like 10, maybe.
Well, you just need werewolves that it's like really good with.
Right.
Like if you have like 4 ones that it's really good with, I think it's fine.
Yeah, or even things like Solitary Hunter, like that's still worthwhile. That's a huge blowout because like if you're playing Solitary Hunter and you attack with the 3/4 into your opponent's, I don't know, like 4/3 or something. And they decide to block because they're like, yeah, I don't value my 4/3 as much as I value a Solitary Hunter that's flipped. And you play this on them? Oh my god.
That's good, but I mean, there's other combat tricks that are kind of similar.
True.
There's another one that's like 4 mana, put 2+1/+1 counters on a creature, right?
That's true, but then they have to flip your Solitary Hunter again if they want it to shrink. So, either way, whatever. This is going to be a very polarizing card. Some people are going to think it's hot garbage, and others are going to play it. So we'll see.
Others are going to play it. Hot garbage or play it.
Well, whatever. Anyways, Wolfkin Bond, 4 and a green. This is okay. So you put a 2/2 green wolf creature token on the battlefield, and the creature you enchanted with this 5 mana enchantment gets +2/+2. So the obvious comparison to this one is Knightly Valor, which cost the same amount of mana but in white, and it gave Vigilance for both the token and the enchanted creature.
It was also like raised by wolves that like made 2/2s and gave like 2/2.
That's true, but that cost more mana, didn't it?
That was 5.
Yeah, or was it? Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Huh.
So this is like definitely like under the curve of those types of cards. But both of those were.
But those are both very good cards. Yeah. And yeah, I don't know how to evaluate this. Because like
Vigilance is really nice on a big creature.
Yeah, and this gets better. Like green naturally has a lot of access to trample. And this gets better on trampling creatures. But I don't know. This is like Knightly Valor in most sets it's present in is probably like a B or B plus, baby, right? Like depending on how much removal there is, it might. Yeah, probably like a B. This is not anywhere near that, but I think it's probably like a C-ish.
Yeah.
Because
It's definitely
because 2 power and toughness of what you're getting has haste effectively.
Mm-hmm.
Right, so that's like a hidden keyword on the card because the creature that you're putting this on, effectively is getting the ability right away, and then you have a 2/2 chump blocker or whatever you can trade with. So I don't know. This is
I think some of the problem is that green just has other mana sinks to like pump their creatures, so you're gonna like sit there with some werewolves in play, wanting to flip them, and then you're like you have a bond in your hand, and it's kind of
because Knightly Valor's best as like the top end to an aggressive deck.
Exactly.
And in this format, I don't think that you're going to want to be casting this, except perhaps in like a green-white deck. That might be the natural home for this. It's like
that also has access to that 3/2 that gets back an aura.
Yep. Mm-hmm. Oh, that's a good point. The more of those you have, the better this gets. So yeah, I feel like this is designed more for green-white. I don't think it belongs on green-red because it has so many good mana sinks already. Green-blue probably doesn't want this because it wants to be sacking things.
Delirium, really.
Yeah,
I don't think it's a
black.
Yeah. I think that there are a lot of better non-creature cards, and you just can't play that many non-creature cards.
Yeah.
I think we can. Yeah. Sure. I think we can call it like a C-.
Yeah, I think it's C or C-.
Yeah,
I might go C-.
It's like good in some decks, but not nearly as good as Knightly Valor.
Might even be more of like a D+ because like a lot of decks you're not really happy to just have.
Rufus says that it's pretty good on the Derp Touch guy. I mean, yeah, you're not wrong.
I mean, the 2/2 that once you turn your guys into their permeating mass, your 2/2 is a permeating mass also. So you gotta remember that.
Well, yes, but then your permeating mass is a 3/5 and kills all the other permeating masses.
So true.
Anyways. Yeah. Woodcutter's Grit, 2 and a green. Maybe the way you break permeating mass is that you just stack enchantments on it.
Oh, yeah.
Anyways, target creature you control gets +3/+3 and gains hexproof until end of turn. We saw this played to pretty good effect in the pre-release. I think it was Marshall got blown out by this, and Gabby got blown out by this twice. So, yeah, I don't know.
It's a common combat trick that gives hexproof. Like, that's going to be relevant.
It is. You're going to have to play around this a lot, really.
Yeah.
It's going to make you want to cast removal at sorcery speed a little more, just so you know what you're getting into when you go to combat. Probably.
Yeah, it's like Vines of Astwood was really good. This is a weaker version of it. Like,
right.
A lot less flexible. And
definitely a lot less flexible.
3 mana combat tricks for just like giant growth is like pretty clunky. Like, you're not casting anything else great that turn if you're doing it. It's like sort of taking up most of your turn, so I don't know, not huge. You can only play so many pump spells.
Yeah, as far as like relatively inefficient, like, or maybe not inefficient, but as far as big impact pump spells go, I think this is pretty good. I think this compares pretty well to some of the good red combat tricks we saw. I don't know if you're around for those ones. But the first strike ones, they seemed pretty good, and I think this is about the same level as those.
Like the one that gives first strike to 2 creatures?
Yeah, I think this is pretty close.
Oh, yeah, I like that one better. But
I think I do too, but the fact that you could save a creature from removal. Like you can't, with that one you can't save creatures from removal.
It's just pretty fair. Like 3 mana to save a creature from removal, I feel like this is fair.
Yeah.
Like leaving up 3 mana is kind of painful, I think.
That's true, but like what I see happening sometimes with this card is your opponent attacks with the 3/3 into your 3/3, and then they try to remove your 3/3 or something. I don't know, and then you just play this, and you can get a 2-for-1 with this pretty easily. I think
the 2-for-1 is going to be like a multi-block, right? You multi-block with something. Sure. They try to remove it, and then this is going to just get you a lot of value.
Yeah,
but
especially if they order wrong.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, if they think about ordering, they might be able to play around it reasonably. Like target the second creature.
Right. Anyways, I don't know. What do you think about this? I think it's like a solid C, maybe a C+.
I have it C.
Yeah, like you only want so many of these. Have we seen many other combat tricks in green though?
I mean, there's the really good the deal damage card.
Right, that's true.
Clear shot.
That was an uncommon though.
Uncommon, yeah.
Yeah, I can't think of much.
Because the fewer combat tricks you get, the better this gets.
Right. We saw combat tricks in red, a fair number of those.
Yeah, but if we're talking just in green, I think this is the only one.
Yeah, this might be like the one.
This is the one.
Because of that, I want to give it a C+.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like I'm going to be cutting it a decent amount.
Is this better than the get +1/+1 for each clue you